Hello, everyone. I'm Stephen Laver. I am the engineering lead at Solana Mobile for all of our mobile projects, both the Solana mobile stack as well as for the Saga phone, which is exciting. It's real. Like Ellie said, we're going to have them out on display this week, but I'll get to that in a second. Today's talk is Saga and SMS for devs. It's really an intro into what is Saga, what is SMS, and sort of a highlight of what we're going to be talking about this week. And speaking of what we're going to be talking about this week, we've got a few things here that were for Saga and SMS specifically. I've got two of my colleagues here with me this week. We've got Laura, and then we also have Ankur. Perfect. You can come find any of us. We'll be around. We'd love to talk to you about anything mobile. And in addition, we're going to have Saga devices. There's a table back there, conveniently labeled Solana Mobile. Tomorrow through Thursday, we're going to have Saga devices available for you to experience, try out. Maybe you already have a mobile DApp. You want to load it on it and give it a spin. Please do. The devices are there for you to experiment with. In addition, on Wednesday evening, we are having a special Saga event. There's still a few spaces available for that. We've got a QR code up on the screens. Please give it a scan, fill out your information. We'd love to have you there. Finally, office hours. Tuesday and Thursday this week, we have Saga and SMS office hours. I'll be there. My colleague Ankur will be there. We'll be glad to take all your questions, talk to you about how to build, talk to you about what you're building. We've got all kinds of ideas. There's only 24 hours in a day. I have to sleep sometimes. I can't build them all. And so I'd love for you to come talk to us. Tell us what you're building. We'll bounce the ideas off us. There's so much untapped potential in mobile for Web3. And so I'm excited to hear about what you guys will be working on. So make sure to grab that QR code. We are having that event Wednesday night this week for Saga in Australia. So with that, I wanted to jump into the Solana mobile stack. As a recap, in June of last year, we announced two things. The Solana mobile stack, or SMS, because apparently we like confusing acronyms, as well as the Saga phone itself. Saga is a flagship Android device. It's got flagship level specs, 12 gigs RAM, 512 gigs flash, and most importantly, it's the first device that will have the entire Solana mobile stack built into it. What's in SMS? There's three key technologies. We have the Solana dApp Store, which is our fee-free Web3-centric application store that will ship on Saga. We have the mobile wallet adapter, our technology for mobile devices for connecting wallets to dApps. And we have the Seed Vault, which is secure key custody built into Android and even below Android into the firmware layers of the system. And with that, I'm going to jump right in and talk a little bit about the dApp Store, which is really exciting because this is the first hacker house I've been to since we announced our details and opened our dApp Store to submissions. So first of all, what do we mean by no fees? This is a fee-free dApp Store. There's no fees for in-app transactions. We want you to have a financial relationship with your customers. There's no fees on subscriptions if you want to set up some kind of recurring transactions. We do not want to get involved between you and your customers. You know best as the developers of your experience, and we want you to leverage that. What about the policies for this store? So there are a few things that the existing app stores do get right. They do protect their users from unwanted software, malicious software, spam, illegal content, but they also, along with that, wrap up a bunch of rules that make developing for Web3 very difficult on mobile devices. Mostly the limitations on DeFi, as well as the limitations on the sale of digital goods. That 30% transaction fee is a bitter pill to swallow, especially when the chain lets you do it all yourself. And so we're excited that our application store is removing those sets of policies. We want to keep all the good parts that make application stores a trustworthy and safe place for users, but we want you to take everything about Web3 that users love, bring that to mobile devices. How do you submit your dApp? So I know you all have mobile dApps ready, first and foremost on everyone's mind, right? Yes? Perfect. Go to solanamobile.com, click on developers. You can find, there's also the GitHub link is up on the slide here. We have a walkthrough published. There's all the steps necessary for you to go and find out how to publish your dApp. Publishing with the Solana dApp Store is actually on-chain. You as developers create NFTs that represents your application. All the metadata you see, all the screenshots a user would see, even the APK file for your Android app are all represented on-chain. As Solana Mobile, you submit those NFTs to us, and we curate a catalog, applying all the policies we talked about on the previous slide. But one key here is that everything is on-chain, everything is public. We aren't gatekeeping what you do with that metadata that you publish. We want to keep our users safe, but you can take that, you own your data. You can take those same NFTs and you could submit them to another application store, for example. Give them directly to your users. We want the community to find ways to incorporate all of this information and data about applications on chain for their new and novel use cases. Our use case is a great Web3 application store. I think it's awesome, but it's all on chain. Anyone can go and consume that same data. So now that you know what or how to submit and where to submit, let's talk about what to submit. And really that comes down to Mobile Wallet Adapter, which is our technology for connecting wallets and dApps on mobile devices, similar to Wallet Adapter, which probably everyone here is already familiar with on the web. So I want to start off with just a quick demo of what this might look like on a mobile device. Here we've got a theoretical NFT app. You want to go buy an NFT off a marketplace. So you would just click the Buy Now button. From there, on your mobile phone, you'll immediately jump over into your wallet application, presenting you a confirmation dialog for the transaction. So in this case, this is the first time we're using the app. So you're presented with information on the dApp. You read it, you approve it. And then after that, you're just given a simple transaction confirmation screen. All it takes is one little tap here, or in this case, a slide of the little toggle at the bottom, and you'll jump right back into your dApp context with the transaction signature or transaction result. This is taking advantage of the natural composability of Android to send you between different UI contexts. You're in your dApp, you can get right into the user's preferred wallet. Mobile Wallet Adapter spans across different wallets. You're not tied into just one ecosystem. And once it's done, you go right back exactly where you left off in your dApp. Here we have a native dApp, but as I'll talk about in a couple slides here, this is any dApp that runs on Android. This could be a web dApp. This could be a React Native dApp. It could be something written all the way down in the native language, Kotlin or Java. So Mobile Wallet Adapter is encrypted sessions that are authenticated and reusable. Once you form a connection between a dApp and a wallet, we want to make that as frictionless as possible. So you can jump right back from that connection, from the dApp, straight back into the wallet the next time, and you've already authorized the connection. The only thing left to do would be to authorize the transaction. Also, on those context switches, which are pretty expensive for users, right? There's a lot of cognitive burden that comes with a change in state of the UI. Apps or dApps can stack up multiple transactions, multiple messages, and in the future, whatever we support through this protocol can be stacked up and run through a single session. No more will the user have to see one flip back to the dApp. Want to sign something else, flip back to the wallet, back to the dApp. All of this can be composed into a single session, which you can either set up for, if you want to do a quick transaction signing, or keep alive in the background if you want to do more complex operations that would involve several actions by the user or several approvals by the user. We also have the concept of identity validation for dApps. Wallets should be able to gather the best information they can about who a dApp is so that they can extend their information about their trust of that application to the user for the user to make good security decisions. Like I said before, this is for all dApps. Native dApps running Kotlin or Java, cross-platform applications. We support Dart and Flutter and React Native, as well as the mobile web. And we've actually already implemented this mobile wallet adapter as a plugin for the regular wallet adapter. All it takes is update to the latest version of wallet adapter, rebuild your dApp, deploy it to the web, and I bet you if you went and tried it on a mobile device today, running Soulflare or Phantom, that you would be able to connect and use the mobile wallet adapter technology. So it's here, it's ready to build today. Oh, I stole the punchline from my next slide. We're ready for you. We're ready for your dApps. Build them, test them, bring them to mobile. The mobile platform has won for every other use case. The mobile devices have converged everything else, all the computing power and all the computing use cases that we carry with us. To me, it's inevitable that the same will happen for Web3, and we're building the foundation with SMS and Saga for everyone in this room to build for mobile devices. A few links on this slide as well that you can go to, but always just solanamobile.com, click on developers. You can go right to our SDK and find out more about building dApps for the SMS platform. The last thing I wanted to talk about is unique to Saga. The previous mobile wallet adapter, that's for any Android device. You don't need a Saga. You can go and do it today on any Android device. But we are building one technology into Saga that I'm particularly excited about called Seed Vault, which is key custody built into the operating system. And in fact, even below the operating system into the secure execution environments of the phone. Got a few UI screens here to show you what this would look like. But we're building in secure custody and secure approval of transactions into Android. And actually the one screen you see farthest right here with the PIN code entry, that's actually being rendered by an environment on the phone called the Trusted UI. This is away from Android. This environment has taken both the touch screen as well as the input driver away from the Android OS and put it in a much smaller, much more secure environment. So that if you enter your password here, enter your PIN code, type a seed phrase, anything you do there can't be observed by the Android operating system. If it even tried to do something like take a screenshot, it would just see a black screen. This is very similar to building in hardware wallet capabilities into the phone itself. So what's this built of? So I will admit, this slide is a little bit of alphabet soup, but I get particularly excited about this. QSEE, the Qualcomm Secure Execution Environment, supported by a secure element. The cool thing about these is we didn't actually build anything new into the phone to support this. It's a big systems integration challenge, but all of these technologies are commonly available today in mobile devices. We just took advantage of these to deliver the Seed Vault experience on Saga. We brought in all the fun acronyms like BIP39 seed phrases, BIP32 and BIP44 derivation, Trusted UI, like I mentioned before, for secure entry and secure display of your secrets. We've got hardware level encryption backed by the secure element for keeping all your data, including your seeds, secure at rest, and then a secure execution environment for doing all the operations related to signing. All of this is available on Saga. We have a dev kit program. There's those same phones that you'll see out at the Solana mobile table today. We've seeded those into developers' hands to get them started. And when Saga ships this year, I'm super excited that everyone will have access to this level of security in their pocket for their seeds, for their secrets, for their keys, for signing on Solana. We also have a simulator available that runs on any Android device that if you don't happen to have a Saga yet, you can use that to get started with developing for Seed Vault. Seed Vault is specific to Saga, but mobile wallet adapter, which we mentioned before, that one is on every Android device. So whether you're building a wallet targeting Saga users, or whether you're building just great experiences targeting Solana, the Solana mobile stack has something for you. And with that, thank you for listening. We still have about 15 minutes left, I think, and I'm happy to take some questions. Okay. I think we'll get a couple microphones out, but if anyone wants to shout out a question in the meantime, I'll repeat it and we can, oh, yes, sir.
take advantage of it?
Yep. So the question was, do we have plans down the road to open up the seed vault technology so that other manufacturers can take advantage of it? That's actually a surprisingly hard question to answer. So we've open sourced the upper layers of that system. The software development kit, the APIs, the design, all of that is open source. But the reality is, to make it so secure, we do have to integrate into Android, and then even below Android into the firmware of the device itself. The firmware is extremely SoC specific. We're using a Qualcomm Snapdragon chipset, the wonderful chipset, but terribly named Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 in this device. But it has a very specific implementation of Trust Zone called this Qualcomm Secure Execution Environment. And we've built this seed vault specifically not only for that environment, but for this phone itself. Every phone, every SoC manufacturer would need to build some of the components of this system into the device. It's unfortunately not something that you can add on via an APK, for example. I do hope, I'm excited for some of the future technologies, specifically the protected virtual machines that ARM v8 and Android 12 or 13, I can't remember exactly which version, brought in. So I am keeping an eye on those for the future. But as of right now, seed vault does need to be integrated by the manufacturer into the device. So I hope to see this everywhere, but it is going to take some time. Any other questions? Awesome. Everyone already knows everything about Saga and SMS. This is great. Well, thank you for listening, everyone. Like I said before, I'm here along with...
I got one more.
One more, great.
Out of interest, what's the floor price to get this technology in a potentially cheaper phone?
So, you've got a microphone. I don't need to repeat the question this time. So, what we need to implement this technology, or the seed vault itself, I assume you're referring to. So, we need secure input, in this case, a secure touch driver. We need secure display capabilities. We need some kind of secure element to really keep to help with the encryption of your keys and help keep them safe. And then we need access to the Trust Zone software layer in the system. Different SoC manufacturers tend to give more or less access to that part of the system. Some of the features, like the trusted UI, tend to be offered by the premium chipsets. It's a feature that the SoC manufacturer will offer to their clients, the phone manufacturers. The key is that all of the hardware components, except the secure element, are present in pretty much every phone, every smartphone that's manufactured. Some lower-end smartphones still don't include a secure element, but even that is becoming more and more common as secure elements are being integrated onto the silicon dies of the main processors. So fundamentally, there's nothing really stopping this from ending up on any smartphone out there. Arguably, the secure element is a slightly higher end feature, but it's really the will to do the systems integration across all of these components at the software level to deliver seed vault, which isn't, it's a technology, but it's an experience, right? The UI matters, the security matters, the access to the low layer hardware drivers of the system matter. So big challenge. We have a partner, Awesome, who's actually manufacturing the phones for us. They've been working with us on building seed vault for months and months and months now. It's a little bit of a Herculean undertaking, especially the first time. Although I do hope that we'll be able to take the lessons learned so that the second iteration of this will be faster, cheaper, more available. All right. I don't see any more hands up. So thank you, everyone. Like I said, we have 2 members of the team here today, Ankur, Laura, along with myself. Come find any of us. We'll talk your ear off about Saga and SMS. We'll let you play with the phone. We'll have the phones at the Solana mobile booth tomorrow through Thursday of this week. Thanks, everyone.